Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome on back to the channel. I hope that you're having a sensational day out there, a wonderful one. It is nice, it is sunny, it is clearing up outside, and so let us dive into a little Morrissey. We're going to listen to this track. November spawned a monster. This is going to be off of the album Bona Drag, which was released in 1990. We're listening to this track because it was suggested and sponsored by Caden. Caden, thank you so much for the recommendation, and thank you, of course, for the support. I appreciate that. And I also see that this album, or not album, rather the song, had also been suggested and mentioned by Ignatius. So thank you as well. I appreciate that. Funnily enough, timing, next week, is it about a week from now? Almost a little less than a week from now, I have some Morrissey coming up. So you'll get a double dose within the next 7 days or so. But looking at the song title, at first I was thinking, like, what happened in November that he's saying spawned a monster? I'm just listen. I haven't looked at anything. I got the information here, like I always do. I'll pull up the Wikipedia article, the blah 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 blah. Is he saying that he's the monster? Because I'm curious. What's Morrissey's birthday? Born May. Okay, so we'll have to We'll have to wait till after we listen to the track to find the answer. All right, let's go ahead and do so. We'll discuss it after. Here we go. Clearly transitioning from the previous track. Oh, we're in. Nice bass. Who's playing? Wow. What a brilliant chorus that is. Oh. Guitar.
And if the lights were out, could you even bear to kiss her full on the mouth?
Great pitching with his voice.
There's a time which I must put out of my mind. Oh, one fine day, let it be soon. She won't be rich or beautiful, but she'll be walking your streets in the clothes that she went out and chose for herself.
God. What a great song. That is a really, really great song. The chorus is incredible. I just want to... Let's talk about the track first, then we'll dive further into it. Morrissey, of course, sounds great. And I like how in this particular track, his voice, which has always had a certain charm to it, a very particular charm to it, here... he uses that charm to a little bit more of a dramatic effect. Not so overtly so, not going theatrical or anything like that, but there's definitely a more dramatic effect in the way he sings throughout the verse, and especially the chorus. The chorus is just textbook there, beyond textbook. But with the nature of the song, the themes as well, I love the way that his charmed voice works for a certain reassurance and inspiration of strength at the end of this song, which will, tie in the lyrics as well with everything. The bass was played by Rourke. Great. Like, the bass was the first thing that stood out. But you also have Kevin Armstrong on the guitar. And I'm looking at Kevin Armstrong here on his Wikipedia page. He's played with Bowie, with Iggy Pop, many, many others as well. And he played with Sinead O'Connor. His guitar playing was absolutely sensational. And the percussion that comes in alongside of the guitar at one particular moment almost had a hint of an Eastern kind of sound to it, which was really cool and slightly unexpected as well. But can I pull up the chorus if you don't mind? Because I'm going to see if I can find it. I gotta see if I can find it real quick. But the chorus was just brilliant. Okay, it's right after this. Here you go. This is the first line of the chorus. Okay, so the first line of the chorus, it's almost acting like the bridge, especially with the way it ends. It holds the note there at the end. You get that change in the guitar with the ba 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 ba. With that descending line, you know that it's going to like move into something next, and it does.
Jesus made me so, Jesus saved me from pity, sympathy, and people
The rambling.
discussing me, a flame of uselessness.
On.
What can
On.
make good all the bad that's been done?
Guitar, rhythm change back to that ending of the first line. Before that, I like how it's just constant emotional barrage there as he mouths off and delivers those lines. And then, of course, it ends with the same way it began, with the bum, 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 bum. But I'm going to back it up a second there so we can get the transition to the part right after that. Love that little bit of instruments that comes in after this. As the guitar goes back to its riffing fray, and then the bass is allowed to pop there, and it carries forth the vein of drama in that chorus. It carries it into the part after, but it begins to exhale some of that tension in a really beautiful way, I would say notably because of the guitar and the way that the bass popped there. That was just, I thought that the chorus was really well done, how that was performed from everyone involved. Then, the break quiets down. You get a little flute, and then you have vocals here. That honestly, it reminded me of Nina Hagen a little bit, but you're gonna have Mary Margaret O'Hara performing that, and I've never heard of Miss O'Hara, but looking at her, she's best known for the album Miss America, of which that's the only album that she's released, but she has contributed to other albums, obviously here in this track. She's worked with Tindersticks. She's worked with others I see that I'm not really quite familiar with, Blackie and the Rodeo Kings. So she's worked with other people here as well. Okay, now let's dive into the lyrics here. So we're going to talk about this. Sleep on and dream of love, because it's the closest you will get to love. Poor twisted child, so ugly. Poor twisted child, oh hug me, hug me. One November spawned a monster in the shape of this child, who later cried, "But Jesus made me, so Jesus saved me from pity, sympathy, and people discussing me. A frame of useless limbs, what can make good all the bad that's been done?" So obviously there's this child that's born had a certain handicap. And the title and, the lyrics here describe the child as a monster. Well, because that's how the child perhaps feels in comparison to others. And also perhaps, obviously due to the stares, as he says, from people discussing me, in such an ugly way. And I like how Morrissey begins the song in a very comforting way. Sleep on and dream of love. And here in the beginning he says, because it's the closest you will get to love. Because in a twisted and sordid fashion, the world does not like ugly things, so to speak. But then at the end of the track, he's going to change that, which is really nice how that changes. "And if the lights were out, could you even bear to kiss her full on the mouth or anywhere? Poor twisted child, poor twisted child." At first I was thinking this was a person. Would a person be able to kiss this person, this handicapped child? Well, now we're obviously moving on later in life. They're an adult. And he's saying, could someone kiss this person or make love to this person? In the sense of, or would they feel like they're taking advantage of someone? Would they feel bad about it in some capacity? Or do they feel some sort of, for lack of a better word, restraints? Could they just treat them normal? One November spawned a monster in the shape of this child, who must remain a hostage to kindness and the wheels underneath her. So we're going through kind of, I would say, different people are dealing with different handicaps. A hostage to kindness, a hostage to always having to rely on someone to help them with something, and the wheels underneath her. They're in a wheelchair. A symbol of where mad, mad lovers must pause and draw the line, which references the second verse here. But then the outro, so different from how it began, and the bridge. That November is a time which I must put out of my mind. Morrissey saying, don't think about that November in the same way that you were thinking about it previously. Oh, one fine day, and let this fine day be soon. She won't be rich or beautiful. She may not have everything that others do. But what does she have? She'll be walking your streets, which is a difference from the wheels underneath her, in the clothes that went out and chose for herself. I'm sorry, in the clothes that she went out and chose for herself. What does she have? She has her individuality. She has her choice. She has her there's another word I'm thinking of. Her self-ownership. There's a word I'm thinking of. It just isn't coming to mind. But she has her decision making. She has her life. And she can live it as she wants to live it. That's what she has. And I think that's a really cool way to end the track, as opposed to the way that it began, with sympathy, which is good, obviously, but something more, with hope for just normalcy. There was a Wikipedia article for this track. Says it's written by Morrissey and Clive Langer. Okay, the single reached number 12 on the UK singles charts. Now let's see. The song describes the troubles of the disabled. Morrissey uses words such as monster and twisted to attempt to create mix and revulsion, sympathy, and black comedy. By forcing the ambivalent persona of tormentor and savior, Morrissey forces the listener to confront their own prejudices head on. The song quotes the French poetic novel Les Chants d'un Mal, I can't read it, in which a hermaphrodite perceives himself as a monster and dreams of love. The song features backing vocals from Mary Margaret O'Hara. Morrissey explained in a 1990 interview, "She's the oddest, most eccentric person I've ever met. I went into the vocal booth and said, just simply give birth, which she most expertly did, while I stood behind with a mop and bucket." I love the way he described that. That's really fantastic. And then the chart information, 9 in Ireland, 12 in the UK singles chart, US, number 6, and 30 in Europe. Let me know what you guys thought of the track, of course, in the comments down below. Caden, thank you so much for the recommendation. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you for the support as well. Like I said, you'll get some more Morrissey in about a little less than a week, or about a week or so. And thanks for being here. That's all I got. Have a great one, guys. Bye.